Hi, my name is Katheryn Smyth, and I am an actor. I am also a producer, director, and content creator. And I'm here to be interviewed by Keith and of the Good Work.
For people who want to know what is the KeithAndrewNetwork, the whole point of my talk show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities to never give up and prove people wrong. Prove to them that labels do not dictate who you are and who you want to be. Prove to them and stem out to something. So that being said, today's guest, you are a business owner and a professional actress. So the first question I want to ask you is, what was the biggest audience you have ever performed in front of?
I would say in terms of theater, I couldn't say. I'm more into camera acting, so for me, the biggest crowd would be back in theater when I was in high school. I would say maybe 200 people. Yeah.
It's more than I had. I take my hat off to you.
Yeah.
What about what are your least favorite types of jobs and stories that you had to produce?
God, I think my least favorite would be a music video that I produced back in Quebec. And it's not because of like the people that I was working with. It's mostly because of the environment. Like it was very harsh, very hot, and there was a lot of mosquitoes. We were in this like field. So it was really, really harsh to film in there.
For me, I did my wrestling auditions. I attempted some voiceovers, but I haven't posted any. But I thought about them. But
Yeah,
music videos, um, for the most part, I do make some music videos, not of myself, obviously, but
yeah,
with me and celebrities who I met over the years. But
yeah,
it's not like when you mention music videos, you think of someone like Eminem and Ice-T. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to read do any of that. First
no.
off, I can't rap if my rap life depended on it. But you have your strengths and you have your weaknesses. But the next one I want to ask you is, with everything that you accomplish as being a business owner and being a professional actress, have you progressed in your career? Sorry, have you progressed in your career? Have you planned?
So far, I think my goals have been hit. Um, the thing that's very important when you're an actor is not to give too high goals, because then you kind of take a hit on your own ego that you're not good enough. But I think so far for what I've planned, I'm at a good place. Yeah.
No, absolutely. One thing I struggle with is you are your own worst enemy.
Yeah.
And not to say there's mental abuse and physical abuse. Mental abuse is more something I have to deal overcoming.
Yeah.
When people say you're not good enough, you can't do this, you can't do that, and that's just stacks up on your worst enemy.
Yeah.
Eventually, those people say, "Oh, you can't do this, you can't do that." We'll eventually say, "Okay, you do something," but hearing the words from the past saying he's incapable, he's not qualified, you know, with mental abuse and just your own whatever scenario you want to use, you are your own worst enemy. So if you can look in the mirror and you stare at yourself and smile, you're doing something right. When
Yeah.
you look at your own reflection and you can't smile, you need to fix something about your life.
Yeah. Definitely. And that's really good, actually.
Next one I want to tell you is, tell me about well, this one's more like, I see, I have a list of questions. Usually I just wing it, but all these questions have to do with so many different things. So I'm just taking one word out. For an example, this one is supposed to be if you do yoga. Tell me about your yoga teacher. Tell me about your yoga teaching training. Now, I know apparently you don't do yoga, but not that I know of. Maybe you do. But let's take yoga. Oh, you do?
Yeah, I actually do some yoga. So I'm part of this school that's called Toronto Film School, into the acting program, and we have this movement class that we have to do like yoga at least once a week. And I've started to continue doing yoga on my own time.
The reason that's completely amazing.
Yeah.
Now, there's actually, while we're on the subject, do you just do ordinary yoga or do you do the free person yoga?
Oh no, I'm just ordinary yoga. I'm not a freak person yoga.
By the way, that wasn't a porno reference or anything. Yeah, the free person yoga is more like circus acts and all that, the fun stuff. So
yeah, I used to be a part of a circus when I was like younger. So I kind of know what you mean by that, but like yeah, no, now it's more like calm and like yeah.
You work at your own pace.
Yeah, exactly. It's better like that.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No worries.
The reason I say that about the question I have, it's number 36. Tell me about your yoga teacher training. Is yes, and that's a question only based about yoga, but you can take that word yoga out and replace it as I will do right now. Tell me about your acting teacher training. Was your acting as your teacher give you certain type of training that was beneficial to what you were doing, or have you had any acting teachers training to like you're training me, but I don't understand what the hell you're doing?
Yeah. So you mean because of the school, right?
Well, I mean overall.
Yeah. Well, as an actor, like it's very important to always keep training because you always want to become better at your work, at your art. And I feel like always keep training also gives you more like more connections to the acting world because you meet new people and you can kind of get more work in doing so, to be honest. Yeah.
This one,
you want to keep working at it and you want to get better at it also because at some point when you're always doing the same thing, you kind of have to like get better in everything in life.
No, I agree with you. A lot of people say to me, "Hey, Keith, you've been doing this for 8.5 years. You should be an expert by now." Hey, if I didn't have a learning disability, maybe I would be. By hint of the show, labels do not dictate who you are.
Exactly.
But, go ahead. One thing about Zoom is when I say something, I always have this habit when the guest stops speaking, I always like, okay, that's my time to talk. And then we end up interrupting each other. But I'm not doing that deliberately. I do apologize.
No worries.
But the one thing I want to ask you is because I keep heading towards your business owner. For people who want to know, what type of business do you have?
So I started a video production company. So basically what it is that I am making my own art, if you want. If I can say it like that.
Yeah, say whatever you want.
It's basically because it's really hard to start in the industry and have a lot of work and everything if you don't have, again, like a good physique and everything and appearance. And if you're new at it, also people are less, they're less going to go towards you and more towards the people that have more experience. So it's really hard to start in the business. So you want to start doing your own art, basically. You want to start doing your own movies. You want to start doing your own TV shows. So that is basically what I'm doing.
So pretty much we're in the same boat as what you're doing. It's pretty much what I'm doing. With my network, the KeithAndrewNetWork, I have a lot of video challenges and I love to have you a part of them if you're interested. I have the Human Pyramid Challenge, the Dumbo Challenge, Jumbo Book Challenge. I have my brand ambassadors. professional wrestling. There's so many different things. So the Keith Andrew Network isn't black and white to the point as saying, oh, it's about disabilities, but look at what I have. I have so many other things from Dragon Ball Z, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Yeah, we have some yoga and cheerleading and stuff on there too, but you want your network to be different. You want to say, I have a variety of so many contents and different things here. It isn't just, the big elephant in the room. It's like, oh, he has a disability. I guess everything on this network will be about that. No, the network is about independent people coming up in the entertainment world who wants to break out. Is that what you want to do with yours?
Yes, it is basically what I want to do, because I don't want to only concentrate on being an actress. I also want to direct. I also want to produce. So it's showing and putting out there that I'm available to get some more work, basically.
Absolutely. Now, the next one I want to ask you, going back to your business, do you prefer to work with small groups or large groups, or people with disabilities one-on-one?
Yeah, that's a good question. I have social anxiety, so like I prefer smaller groups, and usually smaller groups of people that I already know. It kind of helps me like opening up and like being more out there, being more comfortable, if I can say it like that. Although I do know that at some point I'm gonna have to go outside of my comfort zone and start like doing something with bigger groups. Yeah.
This one's pretty interesting. Let's see. I want to ask you some good ones. I have so many pages. As I mentioned in my last interview, I usually stay on page 1. So now I'm on page 2. So I'm like, I haven't even read most of these questions before. So that's why when you talk, I have my face in the page. Like, I'm not ignoring you. I'm trying, okay, I like this one, but how can I pronounce it? So the different one I want to ask you is, how do you know when you have delivered a acting? Okay, I have to edit that one. How do you know when you gave the best acting experience? Number 1. And for your network, the same exact question, only replacing actor with network.
To be honest with you, like I don't think that there is such thing as like, how can I say that? I think it depends on like every people. I feel like as an actor, we always have this feeling inside of us, like, did I really give my best to the producer, or like in the audition room, for example? I feel like we always have this doubt in ourselves that we haven't done as good as we could. But the importance is to try. I have this teacher that always tells me, like, I will work with you if you try. And that's what I think is very important in there. Not necessarily to like be the best, but at least try to do your best.
I agree. Now I just edited that part, so I'm going to ask you the same question, but in a different way. After I just, I pretty much I look for questions online. Like, that's something good. That's something good. And I make a whole list, and then I look at it afterwards. I'm like, that's a stupid ass question. So I'm just sitting here. I'm like, okay, let's take this word out and make it shorter. So what I'm trying to say is, how do you know when you deliver an acting performance that is high quality? Yeah. Because go ahead.
No, you can go ahead.
I was gonna say, not all my interviews are gonna be, a piece of cake. When you're upbeat, full of energy, making jokes, really fun, it's gonna be a great episode. I see that you have a bubbly personality, so that makes it more fun. If you have other people like, wonderful. Okay, how long? Oh, 5 minutes. I can't do another 25 as this person. But it's chemistry. Professional wrestlers say, when you're in the ring with thousands of people screaming, you can feel the electricity in the air. When you watch certain talk shows, you can feel the chemistry and how the interview flows and everything. If an interview kind of goes, stops, goes, starts, yeah, you can get through it, but it's a learning experience. But what I want to ask you is, when you are an actress, how do you know when you gave the very best high quality performance?
Oh, that's a good question. That's actually a really good question. I actually don't know how to answer that. It's more like, it's always a question of like, what could I have done better? I think. I think there's always a little something in everything that you can work on, but it's self-satisfaction. I think once you feel like you've gotten a really good reaction from the director of the movie or the producers, like that's when you know like you did a good job. But also when you feel good about it. Although it's the work of an actor to always be like, okay, what could I have done better, and rewatch your work, and again like go back to school and learn and keep your work, keep your art like getting better and better.
Now, the same exact question, but replace actor with your network, your business.
What do you mean?
All right, so it's the same exact question I asked you. How do you know when you delivered a acting performance that's high quality? Same exact question, but change your business to high quality. When, for an example, when people see my work, your work usually speaks for itself. So when people come across your channel, do you feel that you're delivering high quality?
I think there is place to improvement. But I would say like I haven't been super active on my YouTube channel these last few months because I've been in school and I've been working on other projects of my own. But I feel like I give what I have to. And again, it comes back to this is me, and my channel is Be Weird, Be Yourself, basically. And it's like I have a very niche channel where it's like I do whatever I want, and people just watch if they want, and if they don't, then they just go elsewhere.
No, absolutely. Actually, I just came up with a new question.
I'm doing it for fun, right? Like my YouTube channel is mostly for fun and like my own, like when I want, if, for example, like when I go somewhere and it's out of the ordinary, I will show people like what I did and how much fun it was. But like it's mostly for fun that I'm doing my YouTube channel. And also I'm starting to have more project and everything coming in. So I'm also using it for more exposure.
Well, let me ask you this. You said you treat it as fun, but do you treat it as a job, or are you just doing it for fun?
Right now it's mostly for fun. It's less of a job. But it is in my plan to make it more as work, use it more for work.
No, absolutely. And that's the one thing I always say about a job. If you're not having fun at what you're doing, for me, I want to do this to the day I die. I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. To me, I don't consider, it is like a job, but I don't see it as a job. Once it starts, you're making mistakes, and then you're like, oh, I hate being here. I don't like who I work with. Then it starts to weigh on you saying, it's not fun anymore. I don't want to do it. So you need the personality of, I'm going to go in, I'm going to have fun every single day. And once it stops being entertaining and fun, I'm going to go do something else. But there's two things I want to talk to you about off script now. The first one I want to ask you is social media. Can social media make you or break you with everything that you accomplish in your life? Do you give thanks to social media for your acting and for your business?
Can you repeat that?
With everything that you've done in your life, do you give thanks to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter for helping you with your acting and for your business?
I definitely think that they are helpful, and I would definitely thank them because I feel like especially in this like in this time like where Instagram is very very in, and like you get more views over there. The thing with actors is that a lot of times casting directors are going to go on your social profile and they're going to see like your interest, like what do you look like, what do you do just in general in life and everything. So you have to be careful because of what you put in there, because they will use that as a resume. So I would say that yes, it is very useful, and yes, I would thank them because like most of actors, and including myself, like we get jobs because of that.
No, absolutely. My other question for you is for people, besides me, obviously, for people who want to follow in your footsteps, who have learning disabilities, what
Yeah.
would be your words of wisdom, number one? And have you worked with people with disabilities?
Well, I would say be weird, be yourself, because that's what I follow every day. um, I I used to take a lot of shit from people, and now I don't as much. I try to build this wall inside of me that kind of blocks those comments from people that wants to hurt you. I've been told by my mom so many times that people will try to hurt you because they're jealous of you, or like they wish they could do whatever you're doing. And like I thank my mom so much for that because she's giving me so many good advice. But yeah, it's definitely like just be yourself, and people that connects with you will just come towards you. And these are the best people you can have.
Absolutely. Now, wrapping up the show, I want to ask you one more question. I want you to be brutally honest. When I first approached you to be a guest on my talk show, what made you say yes? How do you feel now? What do you recommend to other people?
Yeah. Well, let's start by what I recommend to people. Like, I definitely recommend to put yourself out there as soon as you can, no matter what people tell you. Like, if you just stop yourself at living what people tell you to do, then you'll never like do anything in your life. And just don't be too afraid of the unknown, basically. Um, in terms of what made me want to do this interview is really because I feel like what you're doing, having a disability in this kind of work, is really, really hard. And I feel like this is really good that you're showing up like people like us who have disabilities, um, whatever they are, um, and that you're showing that you can still be successful even though you do have disability.
No, absolutely. Now, how can our fans and listeners get in touch with you? Are you on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram?
I am mostly active on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. That is where people can reach out to me. Yeah, I would say these are the ones that I'm mostly active on.
You should definitely get a LinkedIn. The
I
more
should.
recommend,
I've been told a lot of times that I should actually.
the more recommend, or a fan page for that matter, the more
Yeah,
recommendations you have, the more it will help you out in the wrong one.
yeah.
But I do have a couple questions for you off the air. But wrapping up, our fans, make sure to follow both of us on Instagram. Our names will be on the bottom of the screen. Also, if you love watching the Keith Andrew Network, you want to be involved in the Keith Andrew Network, leave your comments on the videos that we do. I'd be more than happy to interact with you guys. If you have any subjects or that you want us to talk about in our next interview, more than happy to do that. Make sure, if you're on YouTube watching right now, hit that bell icon and you'll be notified for brand new episodes available every time I upload. If you're watching on Facebook, hit that like button, become a fan, and you again will be notified once anything is uploaded to my fan page. Also, we're on Instagram, the Keith Andrew Network, Twitter, KeithAndrew88. Like I said, hashtag KeithAndrewNetwork. If you want to interact with us, YouTube is the best place, so is Facebook. But more importantly, To our fan base, that sound like the guy from Looney Tunes. From the fan base, and to our guests, thank you for watching the KeithAndrew Network. We're on the road to 900 episodes. I can't wait. Got to be a complete different background, brand new questions. Are prepping up their interview. It's a real honor and privilege having me as a guest. I really appreciate this honor and privilege, and I'm looking forward to part 2 down the road. Until we meet again, catch you later.